News in brief. Now the news in details. To start with, human rights activists and African Action Congress presidential candidate Omoyele Sowore led a protest in Abuja, the nation's capital, demanding the immediate rescue of adopted school children across the nation. The protest, which was initially planned to proceed to the Aso Rock presidential villa under the hashtag Occupy Aso Rock, was held in front of the Federal High Court after security operative blocked access routes leading to the State House. Our correspondent gathered that heavy security presence was significantly reinforced around the presidential villa, with anti-riot policemen condoning of the main gate and restricting access to the persons without official State House identification tags. Addressing journalists during the protest, Sowore described the country's security situation as alarming and called on President Bola Tinubu to secure the immediate release of kidnapped pupils. He said the protest was part of a nationwide campaign to pressure the government into action. Meanwhile, gunmen have killed a vigilante and abducted 4 residents during an attack on the Barazin area of Kubwa in the Federal Capital Territory. Residents said about 28 armed men stormed the community, taking 4 people into the bush and fatally shooting a vigilante. Security sources confirmed the incident, adding that military, police, and local vigilantes have launched a search and rescue operation for the victims. And in health, children under 5 remain the most affected group in Nigeria's worsening cholera outbreak, which has recorded 5,260 cases and 67 deaths across 33 states and the FCT. According to the Nigeria Center for Disease Control, infections have increased by 73% compared to the same period last year. Although deaths have declined due to improved treatment, Borno State accounts for 86% of all reported cases. Maiduguri alone recording more than half of the country's infections. Health authorities warned that poor sanitation, contaminated water sources, and the rainy season could fuel for the spread of the disease. Now, the federal government has warned that climate change is increasingly threatening food security, livelihoods, and national security in Nigeria. Speaking at the World Environment Day event in Abuja, officials said rising temperature, flooding, drought, and environmental degradation continue to affect agriculture and worsen economic challenges. The government urged Nigerians, especially young people, to embrace climate action and sustainable practices while highlighting efforts to cut greenhouse gas emissions and build climate resilience. The Lake Chad Basin has secured €11.25 million in funding from the European Union and Germany to improve water management, climate resilience, and regional stability. The initiative will support sustainable water use, strengthen cooperation among member countries, and help communities affected by climate change and insecurity. Officials say the program will benefit millions of people who depend on the basin for farming, fishing, and livestock production. Finally, Grenada is set to grant visa-free entry to Nigerians from July as part of effort to strengthen trade and investment ties with Africa. At a press conference in Lagos after a working visit to Grenada, the country's honorary consul in Nigeria, Bidemi Sonoike, said the Caribbean nation was positioning itself as a strategic platform for Nigerian businesses seeking opportunities beyond traditional markets. The Caribbean nation is also exploring direct flight connection with Nigeria and promoting opportunities in tourism, agriculture, healthcare, real estate, fintech, and renewable energy. Officials say the move will make it easier for Nigerian investors, professionals, and entrepreneurs to access Caribbean markets and expand their businesses. Let's move on to our next segment, coming to you shortly after the break. For the breaking transition due to some technical issues. We'll be moving on to our next segment now, the business news update with Oniye Shukra.
Hello and welcome to your business news update. I am Oniye Shukra. Our top stories are a massive $12 billion food and agriculture joint venture takes off in West Africa. And later on the show, the global market hold their breath as tech giant SpaceX edge closer to the historic public listing. Let's begin with agriculture, where a major cross-border partnership is set to reshape the agribusiness landscape in West Africa. Tropical General Investment, TGI Group, and Singapore-based Wilmer International have announced a strategic joint venture expanding across Nigeria and the Republic of Benin. The mega merger combines these assets and operations of the conglomerates, creating one of the largest integrated food and agricultural platforms in the sub-region, targeting a market valued at over $12 billion. Industry analysts say consolidation is a major win for regional food security and is expected to optimize supply chains, generate thousands of jobs, and significantly boost local food production. Meanwhile, on the continental front, the African Development Bank is intensifying its campaign for sweeping financial reforms to unlock private capital across Africa. The AFDP is calling for a deliberate reduction in the cost of capital and better access to financing mechanisms. The Development Bank emphasized that breaking down these financial barriers is critical to accelerating massive infrastructure projects, scaling local businesses, and generating employment. Experts agree that attracting robust private sector investment remains the ultimate linchpin for building economic resilience across member states. And finally, on the global scene, the international investment community is on high alert over what could be a historic milestone in the tech world. Wall Street reports indicate that plans are accelerating for a potential SpaceX initial public offering. If materialized, this IPO is projected to be one of the largest technology market listings in the financial history. Market observers know the success of this offering will serve as a crucial barometer for global investors, high confidence in growth, high-risk tech sectors, and could potentially dictate market trends for the rest of the year. And that is it on Business Update for this hour. But don't go away just yet, because the conversation continues right here. Up next, we'll dive into major headlines making wave in the dailies on our newspaper review with Zainab Ibrahim and Abubakar Tureki after the break.
And now to our next segment, the newspaper review, and I'll be doing this with Abubakar Turaki. Hello, Abubakar. Good to see you again today.
Thank you.
How's the weather? So we're starting with the Vanguard front page, and it says federal government vows to crush kidnappers, rescue pupils in Oyo. This is coming 3 weeks after the kidnapping. We've not seen any action. We've just been seeing headlines upon headlines that something will be done, and something has not been done yet.
Well, as long as the federal government spoke, I believe by now they will take a decisive measures in.
But the federal government has been speaking, but we've not seen any action.
Well, sometimes fighting insecurity, it requires a holistic approach, and those people are not adequately identified. And for us to identify them, we need a forensic auditing and forensic investigation. So I believe with the way the country is actually in tension, virtually all part of the country is under siege, and there is no any part of the country that is safe. We saw how people that are even connected to the villa, they were also attacked. That is the former minister of power. which his sister was attacked and she was actually abducted. So maybe now it's high time for the federal government to do something possible. And we saw in this country an emir was abducted and killed, a former general was killed, a common Nigerian was killed. So who is safe in this country? Only God knows who is safe in this country.
So when you say holistic action, are you saying this is not just for the federal government alone?
Yeah, it's not for the federal government alone, because I believe once the government is doing its own effort, people in the community are also going to do their effort. I think before we came in, we had a conversation with you and some of our colleagues, the way informant are actually feeding all those bandits with vital information.
Yes.
And this is one of the major reasons that the problem of insecurity up to now is said to be curtailed. But I believe if the government can do everything
You know,
possible,
Abaka, we agree that they are informants, but we're talking about children that are already been kidnapped. It's over 3 weeks. These are children. We don't know, we don't even know the state of those children. So are you saying that federal government should not take the responsibility of their negligence?
No, you see, the problem of insecurity, I think there is a political reason behind that. If you remember, I think in the month of April, we have analyzed how the security agencies were underfunded. It is obvious that the security budget every year, the security got almost at least the huge amount of funds
Yes,
allocated
funding.
to them. But when it comes to disbursement, I doubt. Sometimes they say that it was only 15% that was disbursed to them among them to distribute, and maybe among that 15%, maybe before you know all the procedure, administrative bureaucracy, bureaucratism may likely not go there, and all those people that are fighting this, that are perpetuating this insecurity, their weapons are more sophisticated than what our gallant officers have.
No,
So I think there is a
absolutely.
political reason, and it's high time for us. Maybe the National House of Assembly should summon the service chief so that they can
So
come at least.
one
give
last
value to what
question,
they are doing.
before we move to our final headline. You say there's a political reasons. Do you think the commoners, the less privileged, should suffer for the political? Because when there's a battle between two powerful, the grant has to suffer, and these are the commoners. Do you think we are meant to suffer for the battle between political parties?
No, actually, it's not like that, because I keep on saying, no matter how the government of a country is, the primary responsibility is the protection of
But I think we are lacking that
the
protection.
protection of citizens, the protection
We
of
are
life and
lacking.
property. Well, Nigerian's government and Nigerian officers are really trying, Zainab. Now, if you look at, if you say that police should go on strike, maybe for one day, I think the level of insecurity that you will see in this country is going to be high, despite the fact that we are under police, and most of the police officers are actually protecting VIPs, even though Gisu have actually scrapped that the IGP. But I believe if the government can do at least more, I think me, in my humble opinion, if they can ask me as a Nigerian, it's better for us to make the country stable, let everybody sleep with his own 2 eyes glass, then we should forget about 2027 election.
Of course, I've no question. I've asked you before if we really deserve an election in the critical security, in the critical state we find ourselves as a nation. If we even deserve to go for another general election. No. So now let's move on to our next headline, which says State Police Constitutional Framework near completion. Am I right if I say you've been an advocate of this state police creation?
Well, behind the scene, I'm not actually advocating for this state police, because I think someone that is more mature than me, he actually highlighted some of the challenges of the state police.
Yes, but with the current security issue, the security issue, when you look at it very well, it's quite local. You understand? So some people are saying that it is high time for us to get securities that are grassroots level, to be closer to the people. So what do you think? Do you think if this has been created before, the level of insecurity in our local areas would have been reduced?
Zainab, the fair is, I keep on saying, that name given to them, state police, that is what all Nigerians are panicking about. That.
Why?
State police, they will be under the control of the executive government.
Yes.
Why don't we at least have, okay, we should have the state police, but they should be managing, the federal government should be managing the state police.
Yes.
And if the federal
But
government
is that
are doing
even possible? Because
I
they
really
are
don't know
working.
what they are.
They're working directly under
the ground. Let me tell you something. You see, the administration of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, if Tinubu, for example, say that he want to sell Nigeria today, there is no matter of resistance will stop him from actualizing what he wanted to. At the Ninth Assembly, when his chief of staff, Bajabi Amila, was the Speaker of the House of Assembly, Bajabi Amila behind the scene went ahead and introduced student loan. They enacted it.
Yes.
Immediately when they come into power, they assent it become a bill. That is why you see the presence of Nel Fund. So you see this state police, I doubt if President Bola Ahmed Tinubu will allow this thing to go. He will do everything possible to see that they actualize that thing.
Yes.
I want to ask him, what
because
is the
they just say
reason behind
that it's near completion.
Before December or January
maybe you are seeing it, because I had an interview today with someone I would not like to disclose that mentioned that President Tinubu is doing everything to see that the grassroots gets the attention they needed. But he mentioned that the state government are refusing to let these things actualize. I don't know how true that is. But if the president is seeing the positivity on state police, maybe he's not seeing how the state police can be used as a tool by the state government.
Then I think maybe the person you said that you don't want to mention, maybe he's a member of the ruling party.
It's
if
possible.
The president is doing everything possible to actualize and ease the suffering of Nigerians, why will the president always continue to bring policies that will emasculate Nigerians? You know how Nigerians are actually battling, especially in this critical moment. And this state police, we will continue to advocate not this state for this state police not to see the light of the day, because there will be a moment when, if this state police is being actualized, election will never hold in this country. We will see a new version of Yoweri Museveni of Uganda, Paul Biya of Cameroon.
Yeah, thank you so much, Abaka. You know,
Rwanda with this state
yes, let's move on to our next segment. It's just that no matter how you clamor against implementation, what the federal government wants is actually what we have.
Exactly.
I think so many people have been saying that, okay, the state police is not necessary, but you see, just as people are against it, they are still saying that it's almost close to completion. That means it will come into reality, because
we see the light of the day.
So let's see how that unfolds. With this, well, we'll be moving on to our next segment. We'll be having an interesting explainer by Gloria.
From childhood, many girls are quietly taught where society thinks they belong: in the kitchen, in background, in silence, in service, and in waiting. A boy may be encouraged to lead and explore. A girl may be praised for being quiet, pretty, obedient, and ready for it. But this is not just culture, it is conditioning. The US 2023 Gender Social Norm Index found that close to 9 out of 10 people globally hold at least one bias against women across politics, education, economic leadership, and bodily autonomy. In Nigeria, the pressure is even more visible in many communities. UNICEF reported in 2024 that 4 out of every 10 girls in Nigeria are married before the age of 18. And for adult women, the question continues: are you married? Are you single? Why are you divorced? Why do you not have children? Then comes another pressure: appearance, skin tone, body shape, acne, stretch mark, weight, and age. Social media has made the mirror louder, with studies showing that many girls worry about their bodies because of the images they see online. But here's the truth: a woman's worth is not measured by marriage, motherhood, beauty, silence, or society's timetable. She is complete before a ring and after divorce. She is complete whether or not she becomes a mother. And she is complete even when her life does not follow the scripts others wrote for her. The question is no longer whether women are valuable. They are. The question is whether society is ready to stop reducing them.
This is Political Arena on S24 television. Welcome back from that break, and I am your host, Abubakar Traki. As people of Ningi and Wardifere constituency in Bauchi State prepare an important political decision, many are looking for a leader who understands their challenge and can effectively represent their interest. Today on S24 Political Arena, our guest is Khalid Barrow Ningi, an aspirant who wants to represent the good people of Ningi and Wardifere constituency of Bauchi State. He's here on Political Arena in S24. Honorable Khalid, welcome to Political Arena on S24 television.
It's my pleasure, Madam. Thank you.
Why PDP?
Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, our listeners and viewers all over the world. It's my pleasure to be in your studio. Madam Traki, you see, politics has to be a kind of an aspiration that requires a lot of
calculation.
Decision. Yes, you know. It's just like somebody who is building a house. You will have to sit down, look at the parameters of the land, you know, make designs and architectural work and civil engineering work. So same as politics. You see, PDP is the only legacy party left in this country today.
Despite all the internal conflict that we have been seeing.
Well, you never can live in this world without facing challenges, and some of the challenges have become a limelight for PDP because it has given them an opportunity to put itself together and in order, and it has given, especially we the supporters of the party, an experience to know what to do in terms of crisis management and so on and so forth. So I think PDP is the bedrock of Nigerian democratic system. It has ruled Nigeria for 16 years, and we have one of the best mindset in this country, and even the ruling APC today is also celebrating some of the mentees of the PDP, and our national leader now, the Honorable Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, is still a carrying card member of the PDP, and in the entire administration of President Asuwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, I think he is the most celebrated minister in terms of delivery.
But some people are still attributing Minister Wiki as an amphibious politician, one leg in PDP and one leg in APC. Does that drive his own political ideology? I think if you are really driving by ideology, you need to either be in PDP or APC.
Well, maybe, Madam Traki, people have easily forgotten history. Honorable Minister of the FCT, our national leader, His Excellency Nyesom Wike, is not the first individual that is a carrying card member of a different political party and then serving in the government at the center. Let me give you a brief history of what happened in 2007 when President Umar Musa Yar'Adua was elected as president. He formed what we call the Government of National Unity, and then he appointed so many members of different political parties. The very one I can vividly remember was the late Senator Saidu Umar Kumo, of which we eventually come from the same state. He was appointed, he was the National Secretary of ANPP back then, but President Umar Musa Yar'Adua appointed him as the Special Advisor to the President on National Assembly Matters because of that formation of the Government of National Unity. So coming up to 2010, when the former President Goodluck Jonathan appointed a serving senator of ANPP in the Senate, who is my principal, my mentor, Governor Bala Mohammed, who is the present governor of Bauchi State, then was a carrying card member of ANPP, and he was appointed as a minister of the Federal Capital Territory, and he served as minister under the government of the PDP. So you see, our national leader, Nyesom Wike, is not the first person to be appointed from a different political party to serve under a government at the center.
Well, maybe these are all interests.
And let us not dwell into the topic of discussion.
Well, I don't see them as interest. I see them as a call to service.
Okay, call to service.
Yes.
And we're hoping to see more of political unity like that.
Yes.
Okay, let's go back to where you came from, the good people of Bauchi State. What qualities make you the best candidate that you are even selling yourself to them?
Madam Traki, I am the youngest of them all. I have not been appointed, I have not been elected before. The other contestants, let me tell you, we have the Speaker of the Bauchi State House of Assembly, who was elected 2 terms as a member of the State Assembly, and 2 terms served as the Speaker, and 1 term served as the chairman of the Conference of Speakers Forum. Then we have the candidate of the APC. Okay, the Speaker is the candidate of, what is the name of their political party, Seth?
I'm talking of ADC.
No. APM.
Okay, APM.
Yes, APM.
The political party where your governor declines.
Yes, APM. Then the candidate of the APC was a former member of the State Assembly. He was elected member of the State Assembly and then subsequently elected member of the National Assembly representing Ninjuwarji. Then the 3rd member is the candidate of the ADC. He was elected the executive chairman of my local government. Then the other member was the candidate of the PRP, who is the currently serving member representing Ninjuwarji Federal Constituency. So the 5th member is the youngest of them all, the most pragmatic, the most ambitious, the most visionary, and the most agile working young man in the constituency. That is Khalid Baroningi. I think I am the best candidate of them all.
Well, don't you think that you made mention of their own portfolio and they were able to at least deliver something? And you are coming into the political system, I mean, in terms of election, because this is going to be your first time that people are going to elect you. Don't you think that you still have a long way to go in terms of mentorship, in terms of loyalty, and the rest?
Mr. Turaki, I'm 40 years old. There are members that I am older than them presently in the National Assembly, and they are serving vividly, well, and effectively to their people.
So you mean this is the right time for young people to venture into active politics?
I don't even see myself as I am not ready for that. I see myself as even coming at a late hour. I should have been in the National Assembly, like in the 9th Assembly, not even the 10th Assembly. Yes. Because politics is not about age. Governance and leadership is not about service. Age. It's about service. It's about
sacrifice.
It's about dedication. It's about loyalty to the people. So once you are given that mantle of responsibility, you see yourself as a servant leader. You see yourself as a community leader, and you see yourself as a vehicle that will maybe transform some of the achievement and realities into an effective way of managing people.
Okay, due to the issue of time, what are the pressing issues that are actually affecting your people, and how do you intend to cushion that effect, especially when they give you the opportunity to represent them at the Halo Chamber?
2 major issues.
What are they?
Water and electricity. Ningi local government is Ningi and Warji as well, because Warji was carved out of Ningi in the year 1996. Yes, if I could not forget. So the major problem that is facing Ningi Warji is electricity and water. And Ningi was established in 1976. I mean, created in 1976. So about 50 years old today, and you can hardly go to Ningi and see, electricity. And a local government like Ningi, the 2nd most densely populated local government according to the 2006 census, can stay for like 6-7 months without electricity is so sad. And I think we need to do something about it. And then water. You can't open a tap in Ningi and find a portable drinking water. I want to take it upon myself that if water and electricity, these 2 things, are going to be the only things I will achieve in 4 years as a member elected representing Ninjuwarji Federal Constituency, I so wish myself to see that I have achieved these 2 things and then leave office by 2031.
These are more promises that you are making. So you mean you want to serve only 1 term?
I am not saying I want to serve 1 term, but what I'm saying is if that will be the only things I will
have achieved a lot
in 4 years, and people will say, okay, Khalid, we are okay with you now. I am ready.
You are ready to relinquish.
Yes, I'm
so
ready
what plans do you have for education and healthcare system?
Well, like I said before, governance and representation, particularly in the National Assembly, is about making laws that will provide for an opportunity for people to have good leadership, good representation, and so on and so forth. Laws that will, enable the community and the society to have an effective and efficient leadership. I will make laws. I will prefer laws that will have effect in the area of education and healthcare system, that will have effect directly to not only
direct impact.
Yes, that to not only the people of Ninjuwaji Federal Constituency, but Bauchi State and Northern Nigeria as a whole, and even if it's possible for the whole country. And again, there are some aspects of partnerships that comes in representation that is not your primary responsibility, but as somebody who is very visionary and you have an ambition not just for leadership but ambition to deliver, you can partner with so many organizations, especially institutions, local institutions that we have, public institutions that we have in Nigeria, and partner with them and try to see a way that those institutions can be able to, give you some discounted rate of registration fees of students, and then try and give scholarships to young people, privileged young people who are of less privileged.
Before we call it a day, sorry to cut you short, within 1 minute, how do you intend to engage youth and women, especially in your government? How do you intend to
engage with them?
Already,
I'm engaging with them. I am engaging
currently
with them. Yes, I am engaging with them.
So how do you intend to expand?
Yes, I'm engaging with them on a critical issues, on issues that have impact to our own community and society. I don't see anybody as a second-class citizen. I see everybody as equal, and I don't see the women as not, equal to me, but equality before the law, equality and equity before the law is so important that you give everybody an opportunity and chance to come up and contribute. So I am already engaging with them, and my doors and my phones are always 24/7 open for any sort of support and engagement that will be able to have positive impact to my own constituents.
Okay. So what message do you have for people of Ningi and Warji Federal constituency?
They should not get tired. They should get their PVC ready. This election is between light and darkness. This election is between the past glories and the lost glories and the future of our own generation and generation yet unborn. They have an opportunity to make a decisive decision, a decision that will have impact in the next 50 years or 100 years to come. Because by voting Khalid, you're voting for electricity. By voting Khalid, you're voting for available water supply. By voting Khalid, you're voting for a pragmatic leadership and representation. By voting Khalid, you're voting for effective and efficient representation in the National Assembly.
Honorable, I believe this your blueprint will see the light of the day.
Inshallah, it will. I hope so.
So I wish you all the best in your political journey
so
far.
Thank
you so much. It's a pleasure speaking to you.
Mashallah.
And I believe next year we are still going to invite you to come and speak to us.
Inshallah, I'll come here and I will showcase my scorecard.
Your scorecard.
Yes, inshallah.
You sound very confident.
Absolutely, very, very confident.
But
because if you look at the category of voters, 70 to 80% of voters are the younger generation.
And you are actually engaging them, as you said.
I'm not only engaging them, they are the same people who pursue me to run for this election.
Thank you so much, Honorable Khalid. And that is all what we have on S24 Political Arena. Stay tuned for our S24 Sahel Watch.
My final question, I want to kind of focus on technology and the use of technology. Now, I know from looking at your Instagram feed and reading your Substack that you're very widely read and you're very knowledgeable through international relations and, you know, reading papers and watching documentaries and all this sort of stuff. You do your homework before a single thing comes out the tip of your fingers or a word comes out your mouth. So I know you're very kind of thoughtful with these things. And, you know, at the moment, the world seems to be in a lot of turmoil. There's a lot of conflict. And you mentioned the Russia-Ukraine war earlier, and the use that's being made of drone technology, robots, for example, recent developments in the last 3 or 4 weeks, you know, Ukrainian robot units getting Russian service personnel to recruit, so therefore no personnel are being committed to the fight at all. Do you think that the time has come for the whole porous border situation in Nigeria to be dealt with when it comes to a firm fence, wall, line of defense, trench system,
I don't
and the
see.
use of technology?
I hear people talk about a wall, and I question people's intelligence when they say they want to build a wall, because what type of wall do you want to build around almost 1,000 kilometers? And each region is of different terrain. We can't cover that. So we have to apply technology to this, you know. But building a wall doesn't solve the problem. You know, you can fence your house, but if your neighbor's house is porous, they'll still keep scaling your fence and attacking you. And looking at what's going on in West Africa, Mali, Burkina Faso, Niger, they are all going through a very bad situation. And these countries need to be stabilized for Nigeria to stabilize. Because now, if we look at recently the uptick in Boko Haram's and all the insurgents' activities, you see that it happened when the French left the Sahel and the US left. So there's no longer cooperation. Security ties changed, meaning they had ties with the French. Back in 2014, 2013, Jonathan had gone to, the former president had gone to France, and there was a security agreement between the French government, Nigeria, and the Francophone countries in tackling insurgency, which is what led to the multinational joint task force, which is operating, which I don't really know to what capacity currently, but these states need to collaborate. The whole West Africa, the whole ECOWAS needs to collaborate. That's why I was even happy when I heard of a joint task force, but not a joint task force to combat coups, but to address insecurity, because at the end of the day, insecurity is what has led to all the coups in most of the Francophone countries. So ECOWAS needs to come together and build a more robust strategy in addressing insecurity. So whether it's a situation where all African countries create a coalition, and it's a coalition not just based off military attacks, you know, civil society, justice, education, and all that, because as you're clearing a region, other systems should move in to fill in the gap, so that people know that the state is present, because at the end of the day, ungoverned spaces is what feeds terrorism. You know, if we look at this others to the main Sahel countries like Niger, almost one part of Niger is run by the terrorists, one part is run by the governments, and is a similar situation with Burkina Faso and Mali. So ungoverned spaces need to be put in check. If not, it's just going to be a cascading situation. Already, JNI are making incursions into Benin Republic. Nigeria has deployed troops and assets in Benin Republic to assist them in this whole situation, because if Benin Republic falls, Nigeria falls, because that means these people have the Western corridor to come into Nigeria more effectively. And the Western region, if you look at the geography, it's very, very dense vegetation. It's a forest, basically, which is prime location, which is prime real estate for these terrorists. They want to be there. They don't want to be in the cities. So we need to have a check on all ungoverned spaces around Africa, or better still, West Africa, and close the envelope on them. That's just the best thing. But a holistic strategy needs to be developed in order to address this. Because at the end of the day, these are not foreigners. They're not coming from somewhere. They are actually Africans. So we're fighting an ideology.
Can you tell us what you think happened from what you've seen and what you've read and your research?
So from my research and what I can determine from the strike that happened is a welcome development because the US brings a lot of capacity that a lot of countries don't have. And, America has the first, second, third, fourth largest air force in the world, with the same thing with the Navy and all. So bringing these capacities and capabilities to Nigeria and how we use it in addressing these terrorists would be a great force multiplier for us. Because America bring MQ-9 Reaper drones that can loiter in the air for 48 hours plus. These are not just drones with cameras that you put ammunition. They are technologically advanced, to the point whereby even your phone signals can be intercepted. They know where you are. So I feel we need more of this, and the net should be cast wider. It should happen in more regions and it should be more intensified. But from what I can say is we can kill one man, another man comes, but it's all the same. There was a past report that Minuki was eliminated in 2024, and which is coming up now. I feel there are two different people because, it's like, when someone dies and you take up a title to make sure to internalize the person's memory or the vision or whatever. I feel like the real Menuki died probably 2024, and this is just another person that's taking up that title. So it's a welcome development, but I realized that Menuki handled the administrative, the bureaucratic angle of ISWAP, and not just ISWAP alone, also along other Islamist group operating within West Africa. And I've come to the conclusion that it's no longer a problem of spreading an ideology. It's a thing of trying to rival the states, the Nigerian states, because it's a situation of whereby they are collecting taxes, they are paying salaries, they are paying pensions, they are doing welfare, they are creating infrastructure. And at the same time, Menuki was the one that handled that. So it just shows how sophisticated these people are, and they're not just some thugs with guns in the forest somewhere. In order to fight bureaucracy, you can't fight bureaucracy with bullets. You fight bureaucracy with bureaucracy. So it's how efficient your own system can be to override the other system. I feel Donald Trump, America and Nigeria basically took out an existential threat to Nigeria, and it's a welcome development.
Welcome to Security Update on S24 Television. I am Gloria Atta. We begin with the Nigerian military, where troops have repelled an attempted attack by suspected ISWAP and Boko Haram terrorists on a forward operating base in Gajigana, Ngazai local government area of Borno State. Security sources say the attackers, riding on motorcycles, struck late on June 3rd, but were met with heavy resistance from troops supported by aerial surveillance and strike operations. One attacker was neutralized, while others fled into surrounding areas. The military has since intensified air and ground patrols across key flashpoints in Borno, including Auno, Benishik, Konduga, Mafa, and Maiduguri, to prevent further attacks. In Plateau State, troops of Operation Enduring Peace have rescued 6 kidnapped victims Rafinsenyi Road in Riom local government. The victims were traveling from Lafia to Jos when they were intercepted by suspected kidnappers. Troops responded to a distress call, launched a search operation, and successfully rescued all 6 passengers, while efforts are ongoing to locate the missing driver. In Bauchi State, police have arrested 8 suspected street thugs during a crackdown on violent crime in the state capital. The arrest followed clashes between rival groups. Authorities say all suspects have been charged to court, while efforts continue to track down other fleeing gang members. Meanwhile, in Rivers State, police have arrested 3 suspects over the murder of a commercial driver, Christopher Akabio. Investigations show the victim was lured under the pretext of attending a traditional marriage ceremony before being killed, his vehicle stolen, and his body dumped in a shallow grave in Asarama community. Police say a 4th suspect remains at large. And finally, the Commandant General of the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps, Ahmed Audi, has called for a review of Nigeria's intelligence strategy to tackle rising insecurity, including kidnapping, banditry, and insurgency. Speaking in Abuja, he urged stronger intelligence gathering and improved collaboration among security agencies, stressing that timely and actionable intelligence remains key to national security. And that's all we can take today on today's security update. I am Gloria Atta. Thank you for watching. Stay safe and bye for now.
Good day and welcome to today's tech update. I am Karimat Hassan. Nigeria is pushing forward with plans to expand its artificial intelligence and cloud infrastructure with increased investment in energy-powered data centers. Industry stakeholders say the goal is to boost the country's computing capacity, strengthen digital services, and attract more global tech companies into Nigeria's growing digital ecosystem. Experts believe this move could position Nigeria as a stronger hub for AI development and cloud-based innovation in West Africa. Across the continent, Africa's fintech sector is also evolving rapidly. Leaders are working to improve cross-border payment system and financial interoperability with partnerships emerging between banks and fintech companies. The aim is to reduce transaction delays, lower costs, and make it easier for businesses and individuals to carry out seamless digital transactions across African countries, supporting the growth of inter-African trade. On the global stage, chipmaker NVIDIA has unveiled new AI-focused processors designed for personal computers and laptops. These new chips allow users to run advanced AI applications directly on their devices, reducing reliance on cloud computing while improving speed, privacy, and performance. Industry analysts say that this marks a major shift toward on-device artificial intelligence, bringing powerful AI tools closer to everyday users. And that's a wrap on today's tech update. Up next is entertainment update. Stay tuned.
Hello, and welcome to your entertainment update on S24 Rundown. I am Khadija Muhammad, and here are the top stories making headlines today on the entertainment space. And we start in Nigeria, where Afrobeat superstar Tiwa Savage is trending across social media after her recent comment regarding national insecurity and the responsibility of celebrities to speak out on social issues. Her statement has divided opinion. Some fans are praising her for using her platform to raise awareness, while others argue that entertainers should either take stronger action or remain focused on music and entertainment. And the debate has once again highlighted the growing expectation placed on celebrities in Nigeria's digital age. And moving on to the global stage. Music icon Shakira is back in the spotlight as she takes on a major role in the build-up to the 2026 FIFA World Cup celebration. She recently collaborated with Nigerian superstar Burna Boy on the official World Cup anthem titled Die Die, a high-energy track blending Latin pop and Afrobeat sound. The song has quickly gained international attention and is being positioned as one of the defining sounds of the tournament. And Shakira is also expected to feature prominently in the World Cup final halftime show, continue her long-standing legacy with FIFA Global Performance. And a big update from the gaming world as PlayStation unveils the new announcement during its latest State of Play showcase. Fans actually look at the upcoming blockbuster titles. And Sony highlighted a major games including Marvel's Wolverine, which got a fresh gameplay reveal, and a new direction for the God of War franchise, expanding its Norse mythology storyline. While other Steve's titles include updates to fan favorites like Silent Hill, Tomb Raider, and new cinematic style action games that continue PlayStation's focus on story-driven experience. Industry experts say the showcase confirms Sony's push towards high-quality, movie-like gaming experience that blur the line between films and video games. And that's a wrap on today's entertainment update. Coming up next is Sport News with Martha after the break.
Hello and welcome to your sports update. I am Martha Okpala-Nedu. It's another exciting day in the world of sports where every match tells a story, every goal creates a moment, and every result leaves fans talking. Let's dive straight into the action. First to international football, where Ivory Coast pulled off one of the biggest upsets of the international window. Ahmed Diallo scored the winning goal as the African champions came from behind to defeat France 2-1 in Nantes. France had taken the lead through Raven Cherki just before halftime, but Ivory Coast responded strongly after the break. Goelo though equalized before setting up Diallo, who struck the winner with just 6 minutes remaining. The result handed Ivory Coast a historic victory over the two-time world champions and provided a major confidence boost ahead of the FIFA World Cup. Moving on, from a stunning comeback to a statement performance, Mexico wrapped up their World Cup preparations with an emphatic 5-1 victory over Serbia in Toluca. The host fell behind early in the match, but quickly turned things around. Johan Vasquez leveled the score before Mexico took control with goals from Raul Jimenez and Luis Chavez, alongside two Serbian own goals. The convincing win extends Mexico's strong run of form and sends a clear message ahead of their World Cup opener as they look to improve. And finally, while players were battling for victory on the pitch, a different kind of drama was unfolding behind the scenes. FIFA has asked a number of fans to pay for tickets they received free of charge after a technical glitch affected its ticketing system. The error reportedly caused some World Cup tickets to appear with a $0 price during checkout. FIFA says the mistake has now been corrected and affected supporters have been contacted. Fans have been given a limited period to complete payment or risk losing their tickets. And that's where we wrap up today's sports update. Whether you're spending the weekend cheering on your favorite team or simply taking some time to relax, we wish you a safe and enjoyable weekend. Make sure you keep the sporty spirit alive. Coming up next is PG News after the break. Good afternoon, my country people. Today, now another day to yarn the matter where they pinch us for body. Human rights activists and AAC presidential candidate Omoyele Sowore don't lead one waka protest for Abuja to demand make government release all the school children where bad boys kidnap across the country. The people been one march enter inside Aso Rock presidential villa with the tag Occupy Aso Rock. But heavy security people block off the road, so they do the protest for front of the Federal High Court. Sowore talk say the security wahala for country it don't too much. And in the tell President Bola Tinubu say make him do fast bring back people children because this protest now part of nationwide waka to force government do the right thing.
And for another tori, everywhere don't scatter for Biagi area for Kuba, inside Abuja, after some armed gunmen attack the place, kill one vigilante security man, carry 4 residents go inside bush. People wey see wetin happen talk say like 28 heavily armed men na im storm the community for early morning on Thursday. Security authority don talk say military, police and local vigilantes don enter into action and they look for the victims inside bush make they for rescue them. This Biagi area inside Kuba na place wey don dey grow fast, but bad boys don dey worry them even before now. And for inside health, cholera matter don serious as na small pikin wey never reach 5 years na im the sickness dey worry pass. Now the sickness don catch 5,260 people and 67 people don die across 33 states and the FCT. NCDC talk say the way the sickness dey catch people don jump up by 73% and this one don pass last year own. Even though say the number of people wey dey die don reduce small because doctors don dey try treat them. Borno State now get 86% of the whole total case and Maiduguri alone carry half of the country sickness. Health people they want say dirty environment, bad water and heavy rain fit make the sickness spread more and more. So make we dey careful. And climate warning don land. Federal government don talk say the way weather they change for Nigeria, they make food scarce. It dey spoil business and it dey bring security wahala. As they do World Environment Day for Abuja, government officials can talk say hot weather, heavy flood and dry season they scatter farm work and they bring heavy load for economy. Government don dey beg Nigerians, especially the youth, may they help protect the environment and make them support government's plan to stop dirty smoke and heat for the country. And for Obodo Ibo, better news don land as Lake Chad Basin don't get 11.25 million euros to take arrange better water management. May they fight weather problem, bring peace to climate. This project will help people use water well, make neighboring countries work together and support communities on top climate change and insecurity. Government officials come dey talk say millions of people where they do farming, fish businesses and animal rearing for that side go really enjoy the money well. And now here we carry our story reach today. I thank all of una wey dey with us from Monday reach today. Una own no go spoil. No go forget na me be Sidika Yusuf. Thank you so much, Sidika Isu, for that version of our news. Please do follow us on all our social media platforms at S24 Television. My name is Zainab Ibrahim. Do have a lovely weekend.